Okay, I'm going to show you how to clean your motorcycle chain. I believe on average you should clean it over 3,000 miles, but that is dependent on the weather and the conditions and how much you use your bike, obviously. So in front of you, don't worry, I'm not sponsored by them. I just bought them literally the other day. I've got some chain lube and some chain cleaner. And this, which is the best tool ever, is essentially to scrub your chain. So, and I'll show you how to do it obviously in a second. Cheap, but it really does the job, and it saves you from using like a toothbrush or something else, basically. Also, you don't actually have to buy any products to clean the chain, because this, not Vanish, but inside it, it's paraffin. Paraffin is kind of like a camping light fire liquid, basically like some sort of petrol, and it does a really good job of getting all the grime and all the nasty stuff off the chain. There's mixed reviews online about people using it, damaging the rings and so forth, but I've used it, never had any troubles with it, and for the majority, people's reactions on it online are, they praise this stuff. So it's not Vanish, it's paraffin inside here. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to use this and try out and see how it works. Okay, so get your bike on a rear wheel stand. Again, you don't have to do this if you don't, you can still do this if you don't have a rear wheel stand. It just makes it 10 times easier. If you don't have it, just put your bike on the side stand and clean it one bit at a time, although it's going to get a bit messy. Now, you don't want to get this stuff on the actual tyre, so try and cover your tyre behind there with some cardboard, you know, old newspaper, whatever you've got, because you don't want to get this on the actual tyre itself, because it's slippery and you don't want to eat shit when you're riding on the road. So, let's have a look. It does get a little bit tricky and a little bit messy, but I'm going to try and... Oh, it does smell of banana, this thing. I'm going to try and get it on there, spray it as much as you can. And you'll see when you've gone all the way around, because it'll be wet. Okay, I think we're all the way around. Now, get your magic tool here. And what you want to do, literally what it does, it just slots in the chain and you scrub. There we go. This way. Pop that out so you can see. You just slot it in there, and it's a million times easier than using an old toothbrush. You want to scrub that nice and well. It really smells like banana, actually. I think it's done a decent job of getting that stuff off. It's not pretty, but now once you've done that, again, you get an old rag. I'm not going to use the same one as I used for the brake cleaner. What you want to do is just get that nice and dry, and just careful your fingers, obviously, with the chain, and just dry it. Make sure you get rid of all that gunk, and you'll see, obviously, you know, that's a combination of oil, lube, gunk, everything. going to edit them out. Again, try and be careful with the gunk from the chain. And you'll definitely be able to tell a difference. Once you actually start riding, if you've got a clean and nice looped up chain, it's going to, the clutch and the gears are going to feel much smoother. Now, it's not perfect, but it's cleaner than it was before. Obviously, you can spend more time getting all this nice and clean and shiny if you really want. But what we care about is the rings on the inside and the chain connection on the inside. Now, once you've done that and you feel like your chain is reasonably dry, as clean as you'd like it to get, this is an old chain as well, so it's never going to look sparkly and brand new unless I spend, you know, a good half hour on it. You can also use it to clean this as well if you want. So again, get this and clean all of this off if you really want. You see, it starts looking a little bit better already. Okay, that was... You're going to get some oil kickback inevitably when you start riding. Okay, so once you've done that, get your lube. And where you want to spray is on these inside of these oil rings here on both sides. If you zoom in, if you go in a little bit, what you want to do is just follow these little lines in here. And make sure you shake it. Remember, we're going to do both sides, so we'll do this side and then we'll do the other side as well. Again, you don't need a stand to do this. You don't need a stand to lube your chain. It does make it easier, but I've done it before. I've literally walked the bike forward and chained it. Although really, ideally, before you re-lube it, you do want to try and clean it if you can. Now, if you do the other side, same exact thing. I'm going to get those rings nice and oiled up in there to make for a much nicer riding experience. Make sure to go on a ride straight after this. You don't want that nice new lube just sitting there. So try and go for a ride. It'll kick back a little bit of lube and oil and stuff, but you can just clean that afterwards. And that's it. Hopefully this video has been helpful. It just shows that a bit of DIY, you can easily do it yourself.